He who looks inward awakens. He who looks outward sleeps. Say. Have you ever had the feeling that someone inside you is watching you all the time? You seem to be living, eating, talking, smiling, chasing thoughts away. And someone's watching. Silently. Without judgment, but with a strange clarity. As if this someone knows you better than you know yourself. You go on a date, you lie that you're not worried. And there's a voice inside. You're lying. You sign up for a course you don't need, and again. Why did you do it? Who is it? You. Or someone else? Jung called this part the observer. It doesn't participate in the performance. Doesn't wear costumes. It doesn't fuss. It doesn't react. She's just there. When you yell at someone close to you, she's silent. But you sense something in you that doesn't agree. When you pretend to be confident, she watches you shake inside. It's not conscience. It's not intuition. It's you. The real you. No roles, no fear, no acting. You used to think you were your thoughts. That you are your voice in your head, your desires, your plans. But here's the paradox: if you can listen to your thoughts, then you're not them. If you can observe your emotions, then you are deeper than them. You are someone who is observing. And that someone is awake. Ever. You want to be good. Kind. Trustworthy. Smart. You try. You grow. You move into awareness. And then, bam. It comes out so, you're afraid of yourself. Sound familiar? Jung called it the shadow. The shadow is not evil. It's not a monster. It's you. Just the part of you that you've forbidden yourself to be. You grew up in a family where yelling was forbidden, so you became quiet. But there's still a scream inside. It's not dead. It's just gone to the basement. You want everyone to like you, so you hide your aggression. But it comes out in irritation, sarcasm, passive anger. You play, I'm good, but inside there's anger, envy, lust, weakness. You say, that's not me. But the shadow smiles. Because it is you. The shadow is not an enemy. It became this way because you once decided. I can't be like this. I won't be loved. I'll be rejected. You're not bad. You just didn't recognize yourself fully. Jung said, a man does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light. He becomes one by realizing his shadow. You think strength is to repress yourself? No. Strength is to see yourself whole. The light side without the shadow is cardboard. The real depth begins where you look into the dark corner and say, yes. That's me too. Do you think you're in control of your life? You woke up. Decided you were going to be calm. 3 hours later, you're already yelling at someone. Why? You were on your way to an important meeting. You prepared. You thought it through. But inside, there's trepidation, resentment, fear. Why? We don't control what we hide. We don't control what we don't recognize. We are like a passenger who sits behind the wheel, but the wheel doesn't turn anywhere. As long as you deny your shadow, it controls you. Through unconscious reactions. Through the body. Through dreams. Through, I don't know what's gotten into me. Do you know what's gotten into you? You. The real you. Knocked down, forgotten, displaced. But alive. Control is an illusion if you can't see who's really in control. The Jungian hero who doesn't pass his shadow becomes the tyrant. Or victim. He's strong on the outside. But on the inside, he's blind. You don't control what you don't realize. The watcher in you has seen it for a long time. You can pretend. You can play happy. You can convince others that you're doing well. But you can't fool yourself. There's a part of you that's silent when you're lying. But you feel as if someone in your chest has turned away. It's him. The watcher. He doesn't scold. He doesn't yell. He doesn't argue. He's just there. And he sees everything. You can forget the pain. Get over the betrayal. Bury the fear. But the watcher doesn't sleep. He remembers. He speaks to you through your body, the pain in your throat when you didn't speak. Through dreams, absurd but somehow piercing. Through the feeling that something is wrong, even though you seem to be doing everything right. Jung called the unconscious an autonomous system. It's not an archive. It's not a warehouse. It's a living organism. It's inside you. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't forget. Doesn't forgive until you see it. You can turn off the lights, but the shadow remains. You can turn on the music, but the voice inside won't shut up. The metaphor is simple. The lantern behind you gives you a shadow. You can go forward, but the shadow goes with you. Until you turn around, you won't know what you're carrying inside. And the watcher. He doesn't tire. He doesn't demand. He just waits. When you stop running, you think you're you. One, whole, indivisible. No. You're a theater. With dozens of actors. Each with his own role, his own pain, his own mission. Jung called them archetypes. Not just images, scripts that run your life from the inside out. When you fight for what's yours, says the hero. When you want to give up everything, the rebel turns on. When you care, to the point of exhaustion, it's the mother in you. When you want someone to save you, you're a victim. When you suddenly get the point without words, that's the sage. And all these parts are alive. They argue with each other. You don't notice, but every day is an inner council. You go to the goal, the hero leads. But the victim whispers, what if it doesn't work out? You take care of your loved ones, but the rebel yells from within, stop being comfortable. You wonder why you're light one day and irritated to the extreme the next. Because they're different parts. And they're all you. The male and female psyche are archetypes too. Anima and animus. The feminine in man, the masculine in woman. You can be strong and want to be weak. You can be free, and dream of attachment. These are not contradictions. It's integrity. You are multi-layered. And the more honestly you see your roles, the closer you are to your real self. As long as you think you're only the hero, you're doomed to lose in the finale. But when you see all the roles, you start directing your life. The most painful moment is when your self-image crumbles. You thought I was strong. But you turn out to be tired, lost, broken. You believed I was good. And then you saw how you lied. How you betrayed. How you were a coward. It's the death of illusions. It's very painful. But that's where growing up begins. You look in the mirror and you don't recognize it. That's not me. And then, suddenly, you realize. It is you. Only without the filters. No embellishments. The real you. Jung called this stage the integration of the shadow. You don't fight it. You recognize it. And you learn to live with it. You accept that you can be jealous, but you don't destroy it. You accept that you're afraid, but you don't hide. You see your greed, your laziness, your aggression, and you don't turn away. You begin to own it. And that means not being victimized by it. The metaphor is simple. Until you recognize the darkness, it leads you. When you recognize it, you're holding a torch. It doesn't take away the darkness. But it keeps you going. That's where the power is born. Not motivation. Not in pathos. But in the quiet knowledge of who you are. With the shadow. With pain. With depth. For years you thought freedom was about doing what you want. To say whatever you want. To walk away when you've had enough. To take and not explain. But then a moment comes along. And you suddenly realize it's not freedom. It's escape. You can be free and still live according to someone else's script. Escape from the office, and seek approval in creativity again. Leave a relationship, and build a new one following the same pattern. True freedom isn't about breaking down external walls. It's about breaking out of the prison inside yourself. You've been sitting in it since childhood. You live to be good. Comfortable. Safe. You smile when you want to scream. You agree when you want to walk away. You're normal. You're just right. But inside you, there's someone else. Someone who doesn't want to be anything but himself. He's quiet. Patient. Persistent. He waits. Jung called this the process of individuation, becoming yourself, not someone else's idea of yourself. It's painful. Because you lose a lot of things. The people who loved your mask. The habits that made you right. The power that the image of successful gave you. But you gain more. You realize. Being yourself doesn't mean being brave all the time. It means being honest. With your fear. With your desire. Your anger and your tenderness. It means knowing how you feel and not running from it. It means hearing yourself, even when the whole world is screaming otherwise. It's not easy. But when you say no for the first time, even though you're used to saying yes, you're breathing. You live. You reclaim yourself. True freedom isn't when you're not ordered around. It's when you stop ordering yourself to be someone else. You've been through a lot. You've met the shadow. You've recognized roles. You've fooled yourself, and you've seen it. You're tired. You've been cleansed. You stayed. And now, silence. Not applause. Not cheering. But silence. Deep. Real. You didn't become perfect. You've become whole. Jung said. The purpose of life is not happiness. It is wholeness. Happiness is temporary. Wholeness is when you are not at war with yourself. You know there is light in you, and you accept the darkness. You know what you are capable of, and you choose to be. You don't renounce the past, but you don't let it control you. You go forward, and you know that the whole of you is going forward. No pieces. No lies. No inner betrayal. The metaphor is simple. You're standing in a cave. It's dark all around you. But in your hand is a torch. Not burning. Not destroying. But illuminating. You walk and the light falls on the walls. You see what used to frighten you. You're not running anymore. You're beside yourself. You've become a man with silence in his eyes. Not emptiness. But depth. You became someone who saw yourself. All of it. Who is not afraid to meet himself in the mirror. Who doesn't play. No pressure. Doesn't hide. You've become what you can be. Without a mask. No defense. Without an act. And the watcher. He doesn't go away. He doesn't disappear. He just, becomes you. You are him. The one who knows. The one who doesn't sleep. The one who saw everything, and chose not to destroy, but to understand. You have power now. Not the kind that's on display. But one that doesn't require proof. The light doesn't scream. It just burns. You can be in a crowd and feel empty. You can live in a family and not be seen. You can listen and not be heard. You thought loneliness was being alone. But real loneliness is when there's someone around. But there's no contact. You speak, they don't feel you. You ask, they don't hear you. You're there, but you're not. It's like you become the backdrop of other people's lives. But then, another silence comes. You no longer run into the noise. You're no longer rushing to be needed. You just sit. With yourself. And suddenly, loneliness becomes not pain. But space. You can hear your chest breathing. The blood in your fingers. The voices in your head quieting down. You're not alone. You're with you. You're no longer afraid of emptiness. Because it's not empty inside. You are. And that's enough. This is the real meeting. Not with the world. But with the one who's been waiting for you inside all this time. At some point, you stop fighting. You don't save. You're not proving. You don't tug. You're just present. You walk into the room, and you don't play. You make eye contact, and you don't look for an answer. You live and don't wait for approval. There's silence in you. But not dead. Not indifferent. But deep. Like the ground before a storm. Like the gaze of someone who has seen everything and is still human. You've changed. You didn't get better, you got real. You didn't get stronger, you got closer. To yourself. To life. To those around you. Your breath has become soft. Your hands are calm. You no longer seek the light. You've become the light. Not one that shines on everyone. But one that just burns. Silently. Confidently. Without needing to be brighter. You're back. Not back to where you were born. But back to where you really began. Now you know. There's always been someone inside of you who hasn't slept. And you are him.